If you've flipped through cable, you've seen Love It or List It, but fans often wonder, is something going on between the hosts? Let's find out the truth about Hilary and David. When watching an episode of Love It or List It, it feels like Hilary Farr and David Visentin have known each other forever. However, that's not the case. The two hosts met for the first time at the show's audition. Farr was the first chosen of the duo, but she came close to not even auditioning. She later told Post City Toronto, "Well, first I thought auditioning was the dumbest idea ever, but I also had a lot of projects on the go. My friend pushed for it and I ended up getting the job." Good thing she did, because we can't picture the show without Farr's wit. Visentin was chosen shortly after. When speaking about the audition process, he told Pop Sugar, "They called up and said, 'You're brilliant, we want you, we think you're going to make Hilary look good.' The rest is history." With these two hosts' witty banter, it's hard to picture anyone else taking on the roles. Bring on even more Farr and Visentin. You'd think being on a television show would keep you too busy to do anything else, right? That's not the case for Hilary Farr and David Visentin. These hosts are pros at more than just interior design and real estate. They both have some intense athletic skills to add to the resume. Farr is both a swimmer and diver. She also played netball in the UK, which she described in an interview with Pop Sugar. "It's sort of like basketball, but you're not allowed to bounce, you have to pass, and you wear short shorts." As for Visentin, he has been interested in sports since childhood. Speaking with W Network, he said, "My dad is very athletic and still plays soccer at the age of 79. I grew up knowing the value of taking care of myself physically to do the things I love to do." Visentin swims competitively and does triathlons. Seriously, what can't they do? And as for their bucket list, Farr wants to go skydiving someday. Luckily, she can go to Visentin for advice, as he already took that plunge in his early 20s. We have always loved the banter between Hilary Farr and David Visentin, but what does this bickering duo really think about each other? Hint, it's a love fest. Farr told Post City Toronto, "There's a genuine, deep affection between us and a really good, genuine, healthy competition. What you see is what you get. We do bicker, we are exact opposites, we adore each other. We make each other laugh a lot." Aw, Visentin echoed the sentiment on the real estate talk show. "Hilary and I have a lot of fun together, and I think people enjoy watching us having a lot of fun." And even though these two are just co-hosts and nothing more, we love how they act like a couple. While interviewing Farr, VH1 Celebrity even addressed the couple-like tension between her and Visentin, and Farr's answer was perfect. "You know what? Whatever is there is there. It's not thought through, it's not calculated. I'm glad that people enjoy it."
They must love it. It's like a constant party here, party here, party here, party here, party here.
Yeah, well, good luck fixing that.
While watching Hilary Farr and David Visentin on camera, they seem like naturals and have great screen presence. That's no coincidence. Both hosts have had a bit of the acting bug in the past, and that experience is clear when you see them on Love It or List It. Visentin did high school theater and was also on a television show called My Parents' House. The love for acting also was a family trait, he told the Arizona Republic. "Not only does real estate run in the family, but both my brothers and sister have done theater. It was a dream extension for me to take my real estate skills and confidence in front of the camera and put them together for the show." And as for Farr, her experience has been across the map. She had a non-speaking role in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Farr spoke about this with Pop Sugar. "It is an amazing fun fact. It came about because we lived as a family right below Tim Curry." But Farr didn't stop with the film. She was also in the Broadway production of Run for Your Wife. And she hasn't been just in front of the camera. She shared with Pop Sugar that she has worked in production with Ted Danson and producer Arthur Cohn. More Farr on Broadway and in movies, please. Although this hosting duo may tease each other on screen, they get along more than it seems. Sharing is caring, and since they have similar taste in food, David shared a favorite smoothie recipe with Farr, and she was hooked. They call it the morning smoothie, and it includes kale, cilantro, lemon juice, banana, almond butter, cacao, cinnamon, ginger, turmeric, and black pepper. And when it comes to favorite food, yep, you guessed it, they share the same fave cuisine too. Both go straight for Italian. Visentin shared with W Network that the dish he can eat all day is, quote, "pasta with every kind of edible seafood known to man." Both hosts have had their fair share of homeowners with whom they've butted heads. Although Love It or List It is an overall upbeat show, it still covers a stressful topic. Home purchasing and design work are expensive and definitely not easy, and Farr and Visentin have become the target of some of those homeowners' frustrations. Visentin told the real estate talk show, "When you're spending their money, people get honest. People get very honest when you're spending their money, and it's not going the way they want it to." When speaking about how she transforms couples' homes, she told Post City Toronto, It's very different than a real renovation, and usually you would hold their hand every step of the way. It's a shock for them the next time they see their home. It's ripped apart, and I'm usually giving them bad news. They don't have a lot of time to prepare, and they're on camera. Mostly, I don't take it personally. So how do they handle the emotions coming at them? By remaining calm and keeping things in perspective. Farr told VH1 Celebrity, "I always have this little sort of moment of forgiveness in that they lived in these houses for quite a while and it seemed perfectly fine to them. And you do get used to deficiencies. I think we all do at some point." When these busy hosts finally have a minute to sit back and relax, they know just what that perfect day would include. David Visentin shared with Pop Sugar his go-to activities are golfing and watching movies. And as for Hilary Farr, she isn't a golfer, but stated, "I'm definitely a spa day person. That works for me just about any time of the year." With intense interior design projects and real estate challenges, these two deserve a few of those perfect days.
Enjoy the quiet. Just
For how long?
I don't know, try 5 seconds.
It's not gonna happen.
David Visentin and Hilary Farr are fans of the network as a whole. Farr describes her HGTV experience with Pop Sugar, saying, "I'm like every other HGTV addict. I just put it on and then there's a show. Then suddenly it's 3 hours later." Guilty. And Visentin touched on another awesome part about HGTV during the interview. He said, "I think HGTV hosts are more approachable than other types of people on television. I think people feel like you're their friend. They kind of feel like they know you. Yes, yes, and yes." Even though Hilary and David didn't meet until the audition for Love It or List It, they both brought their design and real estate experience to the table. Farr told Pop Sugar she had enrolled in an interior design course, but stated, quote, "Almost everything I learned on the job, quite honestly." And as for Visentin, real estate was what he was meant to do. During the interview, he shared, "My father is a broker and I worked with both my brothers, who are also realtors. My sister 2 years ago got her real estate license." Visentin has been in the business for more than 20 years and doesn't have any doubts about what he is meant to do. When asked what he would be doing if it wasn't this job, his response was, quote, "I'm doing real estate and television. There's nothing else I can imagine doing." So what advice do these pros have for us? When it comes to house hunting, David Visentin encourages home seekers to find a good realtor in the area where they want to buy. He told the Arizona Republic, "That is critical to getting a fair deal, and it will eliminate any hiccups along the way in the purchase process. Save, 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 and put down as much as you can for a down payment. 25 to 30% is a good range to shoot for." Visentin stated couples shouldn't be stressed when house hunting, saying, quote, "Don't overextend yourself. No matter how much you want a house, there will always be another one." And as for Hilary Farr's advice when it comes to home renovation, she keeps it simple, telling Post City Toronto, "Try not to think about the potential value of your home and think about what you love and how you need your home to function, and that's how you need to decorate it." Great advice from the unstoppable duo.
That's it. That's this mind, the design mind, right? Isn't that what's in there?
Oh, if you knew what was in there.
I don't want to know. Just sleepless nights.
Considering how long they've been TV stars, not to mention their business endeavors, it's unsurprising to learn both Hilary and David are sitting on massive fortunes. Per Celebrity Net Worth, interior designer Farr has amassed an incredible net worth of $8 million, thanks to Love It or List It and her successful business, Hilary Farr's Designs. Visentin is slightly less wealthy, with Celebrity Net Worth putting him at a cool $6 million. This is likely because, unlike Farr, who has a lucrative side hustle, Visentin earns the majority of his money from Love It or List It. Their salaries for the show aren't publicly known, but Cheat Sheet estimated the hosts annually earn around $50,000 each. Naturally, the longer Love It or List It continues, the more Farr and Visentin stand to make. Even casual Love It or List It fans know the central premise sees Hilary Farr and David Visentin duking it out to convince the featured family to either keep or sell their home. The show's been on so long at this stage, it's difficult to ascertain who's got the most wins out of the two of them. But in 2021, Visentin told Realtor.com that Farr probably has the edge on him. The real estate guru admitted, "I don't know the exact number. I mean, we've done around 225 episodes. I would say probably it's 60 to 40 for her." Visentin acknowledged his co-host kind of has the easier job, though, since most people don't really want to leave their homes, even when they probably should.
Give me a break, will you?
The playful banter between Hilary Farr and David Visentin is what sets Love It or List It apart from many other similarly themed shows. Even though the real estate agent gives as good as he gets, Farr usually instigates most of their good-natured arguments. Heavy asked the interior designer why she loves picking on Visentin so much, and in frank Farr fashion, she admitted, "David is just such an easy target. I mean, pick anything and I'm going to tease him about it."
I think all this technology just makes your brain soft.
Do you honestly think that's the reason that you have the issues that you have is because of the GPS?
Okay, I didn't say I had issues.
The reality star continued. One of the things is the Italian hand flap, when his hands and his arms are just flying everywhere like he's going to take off at any minute. He's quite the motor mouth. In an interview with MEA Worldwide, Farr acknowledged it bums her out every time someone chooses to list rather than love, but she gets her revenge by teasing Visentin, sharing that actually it's, quote, her great mission in life. The ongoing battle of wits between Hilary Farr and David Visentin keeps millions of viewers tuning into Love It or List It, but in reality, they obviously have an enormous amount of respect for each other. The duo are friends as well as colleagues, as evidenced by Farr telling Baltimore media blog that one of her favorite parts of working on the show is simply spending time with Visentin. Although it can be upsetting for her to see families choosing to list their home rather than stick with it, Farr acknowledged she'd rather they end up in the right spot in the long run. As for whether she'd choose to love or list her co-host, the design expert hilariously reasoned, "I'd list him with the right buyer, but I know that's not going to happen, so I have no choice but to love him." These two might fight it out to win each episode, but underneath that friendly competition, it's nothing but love between them. David Visentin doesn't think that Hilary Farr would be the right person to ever redesign his home. In a chat with Monsters and Critics, the Canadian realtor opined that, of course, Farr is a terrific designer with a great eye and a strong team working with her to make clients' dreams come true. But even though Visentin would be delighted to hand the reins over to her, he said, quote, "I just can't imagine it going swimmingly." Fans of Love It or List It won't be shocked to learn Visentin was concerned the duo would end up bickering over every little thing, which would likely stop the project in its tracks. He detailed, "The remodel would be like half done and she'd be gone. She would say, 'I can't work with you,' or 'I can't deal with you,' or 'I can't work with you, get out of here, I'm leaving.'" However, Visentin pointed out his beloved co-host is probably too busy to focus on redoing his home anyway. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about Love It or List It are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.